Now, from the Kingdom of Nye, more Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell. Here again is Art.
On the first-time caller line, you're on the air on Coast to Coast AM. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you and where are you?
Hi, I'm Laura from Coolidge, Arizona.
All right, welcome to the show. What have you?
Oh, my friend told me this story. It happened about 7 years ago. She was sleeping with her husband, and her husband was a Native American, and you know they're kind of spooky or something. But anyway, they were sleeping, and she woke up. And
no, dear, they're spiritual.
Yeah, they're,
okay.
Yeah. And she woke up, and there was like a bull's head or a demon-looking thing hanging over her bed. And she heard a voice coming out of it that was not English. She couldn't understand what it was saying, but she was petrified. She said she couldn't move at all. And after a little bit, she was able to move. And she looked at her husband, and his mouth was mouthing the words. And the voice was coming from his mouth. So finally she was able to wake him. And when she woke him, he jumped out of bed.
Yes.
Told her that the devil was after her. And she told him that she saw it. So I guess they got a little bit of sleep that night.
Well, maybe spooky is a better word, actually, under the circumstances. That's really strange. So either he was possessed by or projecting that entity.
Something happened, but that's not it. So the next day she went to work next door for an old folks, you know, cleaning his house and stuff.
Mm.
And he went to work when she looked out the window and her trailer was on fire. It burnt to the ground. Oh, my God. Really? Yes. I have the picture and the paper and everything. It came out in the paper, and they said it was an electrical fire. But they put another trailer on that property, but they had the witch doctor come out and bless it.
I wouldn't rebuild on that property for all the tea in China.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. My hair stood up on the back of my neck last year when I was listening to your Halloween show, and a lady called in and described practically the same thing that she had told me. And, boy, I didn't sleep at all that night. I sat straight up in bed. And
well, there's a good reason for that, you see. That's because these things are real.
Oh, I knew when she told me, I knew she was telling me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't lie.
I appreciate your call. Thank you. Now, you tell me, was he projecting that, or was it something within him? I don't know. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure that was a ghost either. That may have been closer to pure evil. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, Art.
Hello.
Hi, this is Diane in Hansford, the one with the frog story.
Oh, yes, Diane. Welcome to the show.
Well, hello. I have two really good ghost stories. One that happened in a small mining town in Ohio when I was a child. My aunt and uncle had rented a house. The old man that had lived in it was sent off to a nursing home against his will and swore that he would come back. Well, he died in the nursing home. They moved in, and strange things began to happen. They would smell cabbage boiling. They would hear footsteps going down the hallway, and the toilet flush in the middle of the night, and, of course, no one was there. Well, I went over to spend the night with my cousins, and my girl cousin and I woke up in the middle of the night to find two greyhounds standing in the bedroom with their leashes sticking straight up in the air.
Oh, that's bad.
We were like 5 or 6 years old.
Very bad.
So I left. I wanted to go home. What transpired after that was one night my aunt was bathing one of the children in the kitchen sink, and she looked out the back door, and there was a man standing there. And she kept calling to him to answer her. He wouldn't answer her, so she went and got the shotgun and fired point blank through the door. Well, the neighbor guy came running to find out what was going on, and, of course, there was no one there. When she gave the description, he described it as the old man that lived there. The next day, my aunt, why she didn't leave, I don't know, but the next day she had made the comment that she was going to go out and pick the grapes that were on the vines.
Yes.
And make some jelly. So she got up bright and early to go out and pick the grapes, and they were all withered on the vines. They moved shortly thereafter.
I don't blame them. Thank you very, very much for the story. It's easy to say, if I was so scared by something that I would pick up a shotgun and fire blankly through a door, I'd be the hell out of there. But in reality, we have lives. Homes, apartments, places where we live and deposits and the real things of life, telephones, mail delivery, a million things that tie us to a place. So what we tend to do is rationalize what has occurred. Explain it away in our own minds so we don't have to do what we really think we ought to do, and that is get the hell out of there. On the other hand, 2 or 3 experiences may be more than enough. You might rationalize 1, but not 2 or 3. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Hi, where are you?
I'm in Canton, Ohio. My name's Adam.
Okay, Adam.
Happy Samhain, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know if this is going to be a really exciting story, but it's a real one anyway.
That's what counts.
Yeah. I remember this distinctly despite my age. I was only 5 years old. I was asleep at night, and I just woke up, and I really don't know why. I just, for some reason, just got up, and I was awake as if I had, gotten up on a regular morning.
Sure.
And I had lived with my grandparents in the same home.
Was this the middle of the night when you woke up?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
It was more toward the middle of the night than the morning, and I got up, and then I didn't know why. I looked around, and I couldn't find my mother or anyone around. I went through the house and finally found all of my family members for some reason, and, it was odd them being there that night, and they were all sitting around, and they all seemed, really sad. And I asked what was wrong, and no one would tell me, so I got a drink of water like a good little kid and went to bed. Mm-hmm. And when I was asleep, I was trying to go to bed, and I looked up at some point and saw something at the foot of my bed. This is a very common story, I'm sure. It looked kind of greenish-white, and I just, as a kid, I just saw that, and I just, got scared and just put the covers over my head.
Natural reaction.
And just sat there trembling.
Yes.
And, and then, as I started to calm down, I realized it looked like my grandfather for some reason. So I, peeked back out after a couple minutes, yes. And there was nothing there. So I just, I was a little kid, I was tired, I just went back to sleep. So I woke up the next morning, and apparently what had happened is my grandfather had started feeling chest pains.
Oh. And
he had gone to the emergency room.
Your grandfather had been in the house or not? Did he?
Yeah, he lived with us.
Okay.
Both of my grandparents
I see,
did.
all right.
And he had gone to the emergency room. He had chest pains, and he didn't want to go, but my grandmother got him to go.
Sure.
And he had gone down there, and he was in the emergency room, and it was his time to come up. And apparently he felt someone else there needed help more than he did. The person obviously was more ill.
Yes.
So he had them go ahead and go through. And finally, when they got to him, you know how things are in an emergency room, he walked in, and as he was walking in, he collapsed, and he was dead.
On the spot?
On the spot. So...
Well, he came to see you.
I apparently.
Yeah, he came to see you, sir. I appreciate the call, thank you. He came to see you. There's a million stories like that. As you look into the question of whether there is life after death, this is one of the most repetitive kind of stories you will hear. Relatives, loved ones, family will die suddenly, and those close who had no idea that they were even in jeopardy will see them, because they will come to visit one more time. Proof? Something you can scientifically lay your hands on? No. Enough stories so you can believe it is true? Absolutely. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, I'm calling from Wenatchee.
Well, welcome.
Washington.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if this is a ghost story, but it scared the heck out of me.
All right.
I was asleep one night, and I was having a nightmare that somebody was trying to kill me. And I tried to wake up because I knew I was dreaming. But and then all of a sudden, I felt like somebody had just put their knee or pressure on the bed.
Oh.
And that just scared me so bad, and I was struggling really, really hard to wake up. And I finally was able to open my eyes, and there was no one on the side of the bed, but at the foot of the bed I could see a man from the waist up, but he was in lights. It was like it was a negative, but where it should be light, it was
dark.
And where it was light, it was really bright.
I've got you.
And